Hey folks, Patrick Tipton from Portrayal Press, and I am fired up today. After 2 years, we finally moved the 1943 Willys MB tub from my barn where it's been stored into the shop to begin the restoration. So I've been making my list and making my plan. I'm going to take you through that, and then the next couple of weeks we're going to be posting videos as we restore this tub and show you how we do it. So this tub is not original to my project. It actually came from a gentleman down in South Jersey who had it sandblasted, started doing some work on it and decided it was too big of a project for him, bought a repro tub and finished his Jeep, which was good news for me because it's all original 1943 Willys MB, missing an inner rear fender well, but and rode hard and put up wet, but definitely restorable, and it's going to be a great project. I'm very excited about it. So let me take you through right now what we need to do and the approach that we're going to take to do this. All right, this is the worst area of damage on the Jeep. It looks like the Jeep was backed into something a long time ago and it collapsed the floor a little bit and did a bunch of structural damage back here. Somebody removed a big chunk of the rear floor panel, and then on the outside they reskinned it. So it looks really nice from the back, but there's another set of skin here and there's a bunch of moved metal in here. So the plan, even though it looks like you might be able to fix this without taking everything apart, it's going to be 4 times as much work. So the plan is, step one, I'm going to remove the rear skin. I'm going to remove this inner fender well as well. It's very beat up. It is straightenable in position, but it is going to be really, really hard to fix the rear panel with this in place, so I'm going to remove that next. It'll take me time, but it'll take me less time at the end of the day to get the results that I want. And then I can straighten this correctly. Then I'm going to remove the rear panel in all likelihood so that we free up the rear floor area. And with the rear panel gone, this gone, it's going to be very, very loosey-goosey. It's just going to be on sawhorses for right now. I can repair the rear floor area and straighten the sides because there's a lot of little dents on the sides. With everything open, it'll be very easy to get all that straightened up. And once I get everything straightened up there, we'll have the whole rear floor area repaired. We can reinstall the rear panel, reinstall the rear inner fender wells, and then we're going to move forward. So once I've got the rear panel back installed, I want to install the Jeep on a rotisserie so that we can do the rest of the work. There's a couple places that we're really going to need a rotisserie, including replacing the hat channels. So I went to make one, $300 worth of steel, decided that I was going to try to adapt something, and I found these engine stands at Harbor Freight for about $53. I bought 2 of them. I have to make some sort of a modification to it, either extend this point or add something in the front so that we have sufficient clearance to go 360 degrees, but it's going to work out great, and I'm like 110 bucks into it. So in addition to banging this panel straight, I've got a little rot right in here, and that rot was caused by a hat channel. A hat channel is this. It is a stiffener for the tub. This goes to the bottom of the tub, but there's a stiffener right inside, and in World War II, they actually put oak inside of these things to make the tub a little bit stiffer yet. And over the years, the oak and the wood absorbed water and caused this rot. So I've got to drill the spot welds out that they put it on with, take it off, repair this area, and then put the stiffener back in after I do a little bit of repair and do some rust proofing to make sure it doesn't rust in the future. So this section is in pretty nice shape overall. I've got, on the step, I've got a little bit of rot and repair on the step. The guy I bought the tub from happened to give me a section. I don't know if this is repro or original steel, but I might end up using this. We'll decide a little bit later, or I might repair this. The other thing I've got is on the cowl. Somebody came in here and really dented the heck out of it. And since that's such a visible part, I'm going to spend a bunch of time on that. But we're going to do that once the Jeep is on the rotisserie. So the rest of the cowl area is in pretty good shape. There's a little piece of metal that was torn off here. We got to do a little repair here. There are a couple of dents. The other side that matches up to the fender is boogered up, so I'm going to have to cut that off and repair it. But this is going to come out real nice with not too much work. So this side, I've got to work on the passenger step a little bit. It's in a little bit better shape, but it's bent up, so we're going to have to do some hammer and dolly work there. I've got a doubler on the inside that caused some rot, so I'm going to have to take the doubler off. It's spot welded in, and then repair this little section. Leave the seam alone. I've got a little crack here. I've got another crack up here also that needs to be repaired, but this side pretty easy, should go pretty quickly. So a little bit of metal to replace in the front floor area, and I've got to fix this hatch handle just a bit. One interesting thing to note, these holes are from a machine gun mount that allows you to sit a .30 caliber right here and shoot it over the cowl with the windscreen down. As a part of that mount, you had to cut the glove box right here and weld the remaining part of the glove box here, so you could still use the glove box, but it wasn't all usable. The very cool little MWO from World War II, and I'm going to leave it that way as part of this tub's history. World War II Jeep gas tank is underneath the driver's seat, so somebody welded this over. I've got to take this plate off, and that sump needs to be replaced. I have a repro from Joe's Motor Pool, which is going to come out real nice. The transmission hump was also cut, probably for a later T90 transmission, which people often do. I have another piece of World War II metal to put back in there, so I'm going to have to do some repairing on this and then cut it in and put it in. So I'm totally fired up. I spent 2 years fixing the running gear. I got 70 years worth of grime and grease cut off of the differentials and every other part. We restored the frame, on and on and on and on. In the meantime, this tub has been sitting in my barn just waiting, and I couldn't wait to get to this part because it means that the end is near, and it's also some of my favorite work to do. So we're going to try to videotape as much of this as we can and show you all the steps that are going to go into restoring this particular tub. And my hope is that you're going to be a little bit inspired, and you're also going to see that it's accessible for most people to do. So you're going to get inspired enough to get your own project, because personally, I find this some of the most satisfying work that I've ever done in my life. It just makes me feel great to come in the shop, and it makes me feel great to be restoring part of our history. So like I like to say, keep your corner square, keep your hands dirty, get out in that shop and get to work. And thank you very much for tuning in.